Now, fake goods in markets like technology and medicine may be on the verge of disappearing, according to a new study. Researchers from Lancaster University believe that new quantum technology, I just like the sound of that, it's almost like an atomic barcode, could see counterfeit goods becoming a thing of the past. Let's talk to one of the researchers, Professor Robert Young. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
I guess it applies to, I mean, not just food and medicines, but just about anything.
To almost anything. The extent of counterfeiting is crazy. I mean, it's one of the largest crimes in the world today, so it's worth over $500 billion a year. But it costs 120,000 jobs to the UK economy, and also it kills 1 million people worldwide in the pharmacy industry, for example.
Okay, so talk us through this quantum technology. Sounds very sci-fi.
So this week we're at the Royal Society for their Summer Science Exhibition, and we're demonstrating a brand new technology where we can read the authenticity of almost anything at the atomic scale just using a smartphone. So we're going to empower everybody with a smartphone in their pocket to be able to authenticate the products they buy.
How?
So it's using quantum technology, as you say. We're working with nanoscale materials. So graphene, which was awarded the Nobel Prize in 2010, this has spurred a whole new generation of materials. And in these materials, actually, imperfections change their macroscopic properties, the properties that we can see. So now, in these materials, we can actually measure single atom imperfections just using our mobile phone.
So that way, you can almost fingerprint goods, can you?
Right down to the atomic scale, which is the most complex anything can ever get.
So you've got some props over here.
Yeah.
How would it work exactly? How can you use your smartphone and check whether these items are genuine, are real or not?
Yeah, so here I've got an example of a real and a fake sports shirt, and it's almost impossible to tell the difference between these two. In this example, security is traditionally done through a hologram, and it's on the label when you buy the product. But with our technology, you could label the logo, and so at the sports ground, you can actually tell whether the jerseys are real or not. And here I have a more serious example, fake car parts. These are GM auto parts. And these have holograms on them. You can't tell the difference between the real and the fake hologram. But with our technology, you could actually label the car part itself.
But how does... See, what I don't quite get with that is, if you talk about quantum imperfections, does that mean that each individual item will have a different imperfection?
Exactly.
So doesn't that require a massive database, billions upon billions of things which you'd have to go through just if you scan it to know if it is real or not?
That's a really good question. So you're right. There are multiple different ways of implementing this technology. Very large databases is something that we do all the time these days, actually. Most manufacturers will have a database of all the things they produce. In the US, for example, with pharmaceutical products, they have to have a database and they have to be able to track and trace their products. So these things exist. We've solved the big data problem. But actually, it's also possible to implement this technology in a way such it can be checked offline as well. So the database isn't a minimum requirement.
Is it going to be expensive to implement? I mean, graphene is a huge, and I could be wrong here, I don't know a huge amount about graphene, but it's a very, very expensive product at the moment.
So if I were to say to make a product with engineered graphene that was pristine, that would be very expensive. But actually, manufacturing graphene with imperfections in is really, really straightforward. So all we do is we take a block of graphite, we put it in some water, we put a blender in, it makes a vortex, and that vortex actually rips the sheets of graphene off. And so we can make an ink for pennies, and then we just spray paint the ink on these products. It's really no incremental cost to the end user.
So how quickly can we start seeing this being used in everyday life? Are we close? Are we there yet?
Yeah, so for immediate kind of market penetration, what we're doing is we're partnering with a hologram company. So we're putting our technology on top of holograms. So they're already making 10 billion holograms a year. And hopefully some of their holograms will have our technology on it in early 2018. So 6 months, 9 months.
We talked about medicines and we talked about food as well in the introduction. I mean, is this stuff edible?
It should be.
So we're talking such tiny amounts anyway.
There's an awful lot of regulation. We have to go through food testing to do this. But the science says it is. As long as the flakes of graphene are large enough on the kind of lateral scale, it's just carbon. It's not reactive. It's ultra stable. It should be completely edible.
If this takes off, if this is where we are in a few years' time, that everything is graphene coded, are you going to be a very rich man?
Perhaps, but that's not why so I'm a scientist. I have a professorship at Lancaster University. I'm set for life in that regard. I want to change the world. I want to make the world a better place. That's my target. So I'm not necessarily so interested in the money. It's much more about actually making life better for people.
I'll take your share, Robert, in all of that. It is absolutely fascinating. The idea that we are developing with it. I mean, when graphene was first discovered or created, there was a lot of people saying, well, this could do a huge amounts in terms of quantum technology. It's interesting, isn't it, that with a discovery like that, it takes just a few years before actually we're in a whole new realm of science and application.
Yeah, I think a lot of applications of graphene have really been stymied by these imperfections. It's actually very difficult to make two devices out of graphene which perform in exactly the same way. And this is actually the genesis of where this idea came from. If it's actually, difficult to make two devices perform the same way, then you can actually use that effect to identify something. But I'm sure graphene will be taking over the world, and we'll be seeing lots more products based on it soon.
I love it, Robert. Absolutely fascinating.
Changing the world.
A good Northwest University. Excellent. It's what we like. Really good to see you. That is, I mean, you're going to be, it might all sound a little bit mysterious at the minute, but you're going to be, that's just going to be on everything in a few years.
This is going to just completely shake up the world of the counterfeit world. Because on the face of it, sometimes it doesn't seem like a big deal buying something which is fake. But it can be messy. It could lead to deaths and indeed slavery, modern-day slavery.
Ah, I did love it.